Listen to the birds. Be at one with nature. I hear birds. I hear traffic. I hear jackhammering. You guys hear any of that? We have our coffee today, brought to you by I Like Trucking. And we're live. I really don't have anything important to talk about, but that doesn't stop us from getting into something usually. Just thought I'd do an open forum. I have no recorded content to do right now. Not sure which direction to go. Not trucking right now, so that's part of it. It's part of the issue. But we'll be in the truck. Won't be long. Charles, look at you, man. Charles Brandt, you are awesome. $3.99. Thank you. Cheers to you, sir. Cheers. Clink. And we will do our shout outs once we get more than 16 people in here. The home crisis is starting to finally slow down a little bit, but the hardest part still has to happen. So that will be, I will be incognito. I will be unreachable for the next after Tuesday. Now, 4th of July is this weekend, so we can talk about that. We can talk about, if you're running the spot market, how to handle that, because, with the 4th of July being on a weekend this year, that makes for good money, because what would normally be a weekend run is still going to be a weekend run, but you're going to get more money if you stay out. I've literally leveraged more money off of broker for running for the 4th of July. I used to enjoy the 4th of July celebration, cookout, fireworks, whole 9 yards, but since my dad passed away, I kind of became indifferent, which, I still love the country. I still, have no issues with that. But the fireworks, is not a big deal to me. And I don't know. It's I would almost rather go shooting than fireworks. But we do it for the kids, right? But the kids are older now. They don't care. COVID kind of took out any 4th of July celebrations. So I don't mind working. So 4th of July is one of those holidays I'll work. But then I make the broker believe that this is such a sacrifice for me to do your load, so I need $18 a mile, that kind of thing. All right, so we got Candyman, Anthony Bressler, Trashy Trucker Show, Other Trucker James Best, Cassius King Truck and Donnie Luke, Charles, Anthony Bressler, Jesse Bennett, Big Houston, Charles, Birds and Wind. Let's see, Anthony Bressler, you hear Snorelord? I hear Snorelord. Nothing witty. Robert Daniel, good morning, Snorelord. It is a good day today. It's all in your perception, right, Robert? Renato, good morning, Snorelord. Cheers with coffee. Is it Renato or Renato? I don't want to say your name wrong because it just makes you look bad. Whose birthday is it? Is it Robert's birthday? Let's see, David Torres or Torres. See, yeah. Yeah, happy birthday, Robert. Daniel Adami, Scooby is in the house. There's quite a few places taking Monday off. Yes, Donnie, look, we'll get into that. Cruising with Mike Chen, good morning. Jonathan Wheeler. What time, Daniel? If you got time to stop, maybe we'll hang out for a minute. Nomad Trucker, good morning. Nomadic Brit, good morning. Second time you said it, Renato. Okay. So 4th of July. It's a federal holiday, so if it falls on a weekend, then they'll take the first weekday off. So that'll be Monday. So banks will be closed, everything else will be closed. So a lot of these places that are off on Saturdays and Sundays, they will put Monday as a holiday. And so that might be some shippers and receivers. So keep that in mind. So that could, usually what that does, it adds an extra day. So a 2-day run becomes a 3-day run. A 1-day run becomes a 3-day run because, you know, if you pick up some on Friday that's 500 miles away and it doesn't deliver till Tuesday, then you're probably not getting a good daily rate for that. So normally on loads like that, I try to go home with. It's so much easier to make a holiday work around the weekend. If it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Monday, it's easier to make that work. Whereas if like Christmas is on a Wednesday, usually you're just better off taking the whole week off, or you pick up something that you know is going to be open December 24th, and then you make sure you stay running until the 26th when you can possibly deliver. But that's a whole different subject for a whole different day. I'm not sure. I'm waiting for the shipper to call me back up to the dock so I can get loaded. Well, Daniel, holler at me. Yeah, call. Yeah, text me. It's holidays are tricky. I learned that the hard way when I was at Landstar. But a lot of the learning I did was off of Facebook, believe it or not. I would listen to, I would watch these guys on Facebook talk about dealing with weekend customers, and also blogs. You guys remember blogs with a B? Not vlogs, not like this video, stupid crap, but blogs with a B. I read a lot of good blogs that dealt with holidays and running. There was a guy that worked for Crete that I used to follow off of Truckers Report. I follow his blog, and he taught me, by reading his blog, it taught me a lot about how to manage your clock, especially on e-logs, because at the time Crete wasn't on e-logs, but you had to be within 15 minutes of what the Qualcomm said, so you couldn't really cheat the logs. And there was another guy that was an owner operator for Hill Brothers, and he taught me a lot of the ins and outs of being a lease operator by reading his blog. So, you know, Truckers Report used to be a great resource. I don't know if it still is or not. I haven't been to Truckers Report in eons, but my name on Truckers Report was Eeyore, Eeyore, because that was before the Snorelord thing kind of took off. So, how long did it take for you to learn how to shift gears on a semi? Not long. All right, I had a standard transmission Ford F-150, so it's actually easier to shift a big truck than it is a small pickup, in my opinion. I could be wrong. Let's see, GNC Family Trucking. Subsnore off topic. What are your thoughts on butt rock? What is butt rock? Rick LP. I have no idea what that is. So my thoughts are this. That's it, because I have no idea what butt rock is. Eeyore fits. I get that a lot. That was kind of my early nickname in the metal scene because like, yeah, my house just caught on fire. Oh well, um, that's kind of how I met Jeffrey Light. He was worried about me by watching my YouTube channel. He's like, man, this guy's going to jump out the window. He's so depressed, and so he saw I was struggling at Landstar, and yeah, so the rest is history, I guess. Oh bother. How's the trucks today, RD? I'm wondering what happens when you got your birthday or another major special event, and the holiday is the same weekend. Could you get even more extra money on the loads? Nah, brokers don't care about your birthday. The only thing you get for your birthday if you're out on the road is a free dinner at Denny's. That's it. And to me, that's a punishment, not a reward. So, let's see. Nickelback, Three Doors Down, Creed, Shine Down, Creed, Breaking. Oh yeah, I hate all of that, Rick. I absolutely despise all of it. Every single one of those bands you played or you mentioned, I despise them with a viciousness that's almost comparable to how much I despise the movie Ice Road on Netflix. It's almost to that level. That's only like, if I had a choice of like hip hop and those bands you mentioned, then I would listen to those bands, but that's it. That's the only step up. But the pancakes and rolls are so good. Yeah, all that carbolicious. Look, Denny's and IHOP, they might as well just call themselves the dessert bar because you have dessert for breakfast. Whoever invented pancakes, especially the ones that they serve in like Denny's and IHOP and places like that, they should be commended because you guys remember the old skit from Bill Cosby, chocolate cake. Did you guys ever see that before he turned into this massive predator? He talked about how his wife got mad at him because he gave the kids chocolate cake for breakfast. And now that's like you can still do the same thing, but you call it pancakes or French toast or cereal. It's the same stuff. Ice Road Truckers Summer Edition, Yeah, I've heard about those floodings. That is great because it's chocolate cake. Yeah, see, nothing Whitty knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, but it wasn't for the reasons people think. It was off of technicalities, I think, not because he didn't do anything wrong. You like Shinedown, RD? Ice Road Truckers. Now, I will say this. Creed, the singer of Creed used to be the drummer of Malaya Rage. I think that's who it is. Which is an old thrash metal band. He was like, man, I can't make money being a thrash guy. So he went and sold out. Which, I don't blame him. Truck for Life, you ever got out of the parking lot yet? Did you push those guys out of your way? Good morning, Snorelord and everybody. Thor and Thunder Trucking. 6170 gross for me this week. We'll see what I net next Friday. I'm guessing around 3,800. Let's do some math on that. 6170 minus 3,800. That's the difference between your gross and net there, Daniel Adami, 2370. A lot of money. Moonflea, good morning. The gift will work well. Good deal. Cruising with Mike Jen. My truck broke down again. It was in the shop all of May. Got it back first weekend in June. That was the ATCM. Now the clutch went out on Wednesday and got it back last night. Mike Jen, I hate to hear that. That's rough. I've been off a month, and then the next week, the truck will break down, or I keep a calendar, like one of those planner calendar things. I mark that. I keep up with that mainly for my per diem and to keep track of how many days I'm working and all that. And the majority of the time when I'm having 10 and 20 day months, it's because of the truck. Not because of anything I'm doing, or there's some home event that I have to deal with. What's a whammy to me, a double whammy to me, is if I have to be off a week for something going on at home, and then I'm off a week when the truck's down in the same month. So when I go back to work, I'm hoping the truck's good for at least a month so I can get some revenue come back in. Never got out of that truck stop there, Truck for Life? That sucks. Donnie Luke, that movie is good for a laugh. I might be wrong about Creed. Let's double check that. Let's get the Googles. Okay, well then you didn't gross 6170. You grossed 80% of 6170. There's a difference there, Daniel Adami. All right, so let's do Malaya Rage. Malaya. Oops. There it is. It'll tell me which. Oh, none of the members are past members. Solely Godsmack, not Creed. Godsmack. I was wrong. I apologize. I'm an idiot. It's Godsmack that the drummer in Malaya Rage is like the guy. So, see, that's the problem with those bands. They all sound alike to me. So. Two loads, 3,200 gross. I've got doctor's appointments this week, 635 miles total. Y'all stay off my lawn. Gotta love it, right? I made 4701 to the truck this week on one load after everything. Good deal. When you were a school bus driver, did you ever take Bart Simpson to school? No. The word is James Best is still passed up. No, he's in the speed somewhere, Smooth Trucking. DIY Semi, good morning. I heard Ice Road is a commercial for Kenworth. It is, Nomad. It is a, you think it's only the W990s, but the best part is when the W990s magically turn into T680s when they start battling each other on the ice road. Yeah, look, when it comes to the Sage Logic stuff, I'm neutral on that. So, because what you have is a whirlwind of emotions going on, and this shows you what YouTube can do. So, Hello, cat. You guys want to see my cat? This is the cat. He is not happy with me. He's wet. He's been in the grass. Going in? You guys like my Cannibal Corpse shirt? Dice Man going live. Man, I saw your picture this morning. Dice Man. What caused that? Those spring ride trailers? Or bad loading? There's a lot of people that make... I was thinking about this earlier. Be very, very careful making business decisions based off of things that you see on YouTube. Now, that might seem hypocritical because of, you know, I work with Jeffrey Light, but here's how Jeffrey Light and I met. I was doing Landstar videos. I was one of only 3 people that did Landstar videos. That's how my channel was really built. My other channel never really took off. I think it's still old. It hasn't even beat 400, my old channel. But I started a new channel for Landstar, and of course it's morphed into what you see today. But I came across one of Jeff's videos. It was about Schneider. Didn't know about the choice program at all. And I figured he was a recruiter for Schneider. So I didn't watch anymore, right? So one day, a buddy of mine, because I don't trust recruiters, plain and simple. One day, a buddy of mine from Landstar, Rob Thomas, he calls me up and goes, "Hey, I'm going over to Schneider." I'm like, "Schneider?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's the same thing." You know, he told me all the similarities and all that. And he goes, "You know, have you seen Jeffrey Light?" I said, "Yeah, I watched, you know, one of his videos." He goes, "Well, he's a driver." I'm like, "Oh, is he?" He goes, "Yeah, he shouted you out a couple of times." Okay, so I go and watch a couple of Jeff's videos, and he did. He shouted me out. He was like, "Hey, man, you know, I just want to say hey to, you know, Snorelord, and you know, and if Snorelord, I used to be at Landstar. If there's anything I can do for you, let me help, because I think, you know, because he saw that I was struggling, right?" So Rob gave me his number. Either that or Jeff emailed it to me, and we talked for a long time. He gave me the 6-hour version or 3-hour version of the video he did, Landstar versus Schneider. And I realized that if everything Jeff said was true at Schneider, then it was a perfect fit for me. Well, I go over to Schneider, and it was everything he said to the T, exactly. And then from there, friendship, you know, blossomed, and you know, that's what we got now. The rest is history. I did not make that decision based off of YouTube. I learned to meet the person first, and YouTube was just a side effect. YouTube was just like a different element. And at the time, we were all live streaming on Periscope, so that's where the live community kind of came through. You know, there was a bunch of us at Schneider that were doing live feeds on Periscope, and it created a camaraderie. Clyde, who's over here, he was on that group. There's a few people that show up in the live feed that were originally part of that group that went to Landstar. It was kind of interesting. A lot of people leave Schneider to go to Landstar. I did the opposite. When I told some of the drivers, they're like, "I can't believe we did that," you know. You know, but like some people do better at Landstar. Truck for Life is doing better at Landstar than he did at Schneider. So, but I did not make that video based off of YouTube advice or YouTube you know. Now, once I got to know Jeff on the phone, then I started to watch his videos and started to see the words that he was talking about. But at that time, he was mainly talking about leases and business structures and stuff like that. A lot of the same stuff he talks about now. And um, and if and now through YouTube, I've gotten some really good friends. I've made a lot of friendships. I talked to a potential contractor just yesterday. You know, her and I had a good talk, and she seems to be making a lot of right decisions, and she credits some YouTube videos on doing the right thing. So, you know, YouTube can be a positive thing, but it can also tear you down just as quickly as it can build you up. So, you had to recover that trailer? Did you have to restack that? Fat Pat, good morning. Eric has some good stuff, but a lot of it doesn't pertain to us. OD is a lot different than van and reefer. I agree with you, RD. I've talked to Eric about that, and I think that what that does is that creates a separation. A lot of people are like, well, you may not know what you're talking about because your world's different than ours. It's similar but different. Now, where Eric helped me was learning how to negotiate with brokers. He gave me a few tricks that worked really well. I don't have any intentions of making a brokerage, but if I did, you know, there's a lot of things that he's told me that makes a lot of sense, that makes me feel like I'm over my head if I wanted to. So that's never been an interest for me. So I'm your favorite trucker YouTube, Kane. Well, that's nice. Thank you. I have to get my DOT renewed before Monday, so now I'm down trying to get it done today. Wow. Grunge was terrible, but also it was great because it killed hair metal. Thoughts? Some hair metal bands I liked, some I didn't. The heavier edged ones I liked. You know, bands like Lion or Dokken or Striper. You know, as far as the Poisons and I don't know, Rat was not bad, the first two albums. But Motley Crue, first two albums. You know, it was funny when Kiss went glam and they took the makeup off and they went glam. Heaven's on Fire. That's such a hilarious video. But the problem with hair metal is that people couldn't relate to it. Because if you're down and out and you're living in the middle of New York City and you know you're struggling to survive, you know, the bands that talked about decadence and abundance, that wasn't relatable. You know, grunge was more relatable to the teenagers, and so that's why grunge took over. Because grunge came from people that were struggling in life, you know, either with heroin addiction or just being poor, you know, and so their message and music was different. But then it became a thing. You had to put the flannel shirt on. You had to look like you didn't shower for a week. You know, it became a look in and of itself. So there was almost no difference between that and hair metal. Just like the black metal bands of today, you know, the guys dress up, put the face paint on, and they have to exhibit a certain look, a certain essence. It's all an act, you know. And now the first original black metal bands, those guys were literally like killing each other, or killing people at least. I mean, that is actually true. But all the bands that came after that, They're just pretenders. And so that's why I always gravitated towards a band like that. Their lyrical message is obviously just satire, and it's just 4 or 5 dudes in t-shirt and jeans shredding and up music. No look, no showmanship. The only showmanship I like is like King Diamond. I've seen King Diamond and Merciful Fate, and they're among the best shows I've seen. And then Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden puts on a show. That's the kind of showmanship I like. Not like, hey, we got to look pretty, or we got to look with our hair poofed out to here, or we got to look like we haven't showered in a week. You know, music has to come from here. That's kind of how I look at it. Did you pay for my StreamYard? I don't have a StreamYard. Isn't StreamYard free? I don't even know how to use StreamYard, to be honest with you. And if who cares who pays for my StreamYard if I was to get it? I know Charles Anderson paid for Pale Rider StreamYard. That was very nice of him. Where does Merle Haggard fit into hair metal? I like Merle Haggard. Every now and then I'll put on the Willie Nelson Country Channel on satellite, and I'll reminisce about the old days when I rode with my dad. I will start Van Freight next week. Look at you. Awesome. Hair metal was good. What ruined it was the ballads. Yes, I hate hair metal ballads. Stryper was one of my favorite bands. I hated their ballads. I hate ballads. I want the heaviest songs, Steve is right. YouTube does have some good info, but it's your choice if you use it. No one is forced to use it. You choose. Maine has one of the best shows I've ever saw. I've seen him twice, and I will agree with that, Anthony. Clyde, good morning. I was just talking about you. Pneumatic Brit. Iron Maiden, yes. I've got the Trooper flag in the bedroom. I thought about putting that one in the truck, but because it's a lot bigger though, so I don't know, it'd probably be too much. But look, I'm a live and let live person. You do your YouTube how you want to. I don't care. Sometimes it's fascinating to watch. Sometimes it's not. That goes with everybody. And I don't agree 100% with everybody that I watch. Seeing Knotfest in Iowa in September. Oh, they doing that again, Jordan? That's cool. I've missed out on seeing Slipknot a couple of times. Slipknot's kind of a weird band for me. I don't like their first album, like that Bleed song, whatever, their first radio hit. I despise that song. But they do hold a little special place because the original members of Slipknot were in a death metal band out of Iowa. Des Moines, I believe. And they used to play a lot with Public Assassin, who, if you know who Richard Christie is, was in that band. And so anytime that they toured near the area, they would contact my friend that was in Public Assassin and say, hey, I can get you tickets. They still remembered him. And so the drummer is actually a death metal drummer. I mean, their old drummer. Right? They got a new guy now. And I believe it was one of the guitar players. And so they have roots in death metal. So I do like The Devil and I, that song. I do like that album. And I think I like the other one before that. But I'm not a... they're one of those bands that I will not turn off if they come on the radio. I don't own any Slipknot CDs that I think. If I do, they're buried. I don't listen to them. But for the most part, if they come on the radio, I dig it. Except for that Wait and Bleed song. I think that's the name of the song. Oh, I'm sorry, Chucky. Oh, oh, people already okay. Um, but Slipknot's not bad. Iowa was their best. I need to go back. I have a CDR copy of that someone gave me. Maybe I do have it on CD. I don't remember, but it took me a minute for them to grow on me, you know. But I do like the fact that they didn't forget their roots. So Guns N' Roses never in the hair metal conversation. Why is that? Because they kind of defied the rules. They came out with an album. I listened to an interview with there used to be a syndicated radio show called Metal Shop, and they talked to Axl Rose, and he said that they were given the opportunity to make Appetite for Destruction with no curse words, and they said no, or no. The record label was like, no, you can have curse words, and so they're like, okay, well, we're going to do the songs as we see fit. And then, of course, they had the controversial cover, or inside cover. And even though there's some early pictures of the hairdos that they had, they weren't all like poppy glam, everything's awesome, we're getting laid and everything, all that kind of stuff. It was down, gritty, we're bums, and we just happen to make it kind of approach. And MTV was at their peak when they came out, and literally was the reason why Guns N' Roses became big. Welcome to the Jungle is one of those songs that's an earworm. It gets in your head whether you like it or not. And they were always in the press, you know, for fist fights and canceling shows. And I mean, there's a infamous MTV concert with Guns N' Roses where Axl got in the crowd and like got in a fight, you know. I mean, they caused a riot in St. Louis, you know, because they refused to play. Um, and so that's how they became big, because whether you hated them or loved them, you were hearing about them. So, yes, Ginger, Candyman, a friend of mine, he is huge into them. I like them okay. I'm not. I'm not like, you know, that's a little bit more commercial than what I usually listen to, but Ginger is definitely, they've played here once, and I don't think I saw them. No, I didn't see them. I think they played here. I don't know. I kind of lose track. You're in St. Louis? Good deal. Um, but having been to a good many country concerts, Garth Brooks is the best I've seen live. I've heard about that, Jonathan Wheeler. The only country concert I've been to, one was Asleep at the Wheel. That was at the fair. But the other one was Ronnie Millsap. I saw Ronnie Millsap live. And that was actually a pretty good show. Top of the morning, TJ. So, look, despite the fact I'm wearing a Cannibal Corpse shirt, I'm pretty open-minded musically. Most of the music I gravitate towards is not commercial. Like, I'm not. I can almost sense when music's not written for the music. It's written for money. I think that's why I hate hip hop, because hip hop is meant to be a moneymaker, not these are my thoughts and my concerns, you know. Um, and being a musician myself, that's where I come from, you know. And so it's really weird. I used to annoy my students when I was training, because I would bounce all over the place. I would go from 80s on 8 to the hard rock channel, the Ozzy's Boneyard, to liquid metal, to the country, you know. And it's like, well, why do you like this kind of music but not that particular band, you know? Or why did you hate this song but not that song, or, you know? And it really annoyed them. I was probably not the easiest trainer to be with. I mean, I was pretty good with my students, but my musical taste, you know, and if they were annoying me, it was, I'm putting on Cannibal Corpse or King Diamond to annoy the piss out of you. So that was kind of my MO. Yellow Chicken. Motorhead's good. I hate power ballads that ruined metal for that era because everyone made them. Right. And that's the deal, Scott. You know, like how many bands did the Motley Crue Home Sweet Home style video? Oh, it's tough being on the road. Oh, poor us. You know, and they were all just ripping off that Journey video. So, Separate Ways, I think. What was it? Yes, Underground. Like Nomad Trucker, perfect example is Life of Agony. Their first album, stellar, amazing, loved every second of it. Their newer stuff, I could care less. There's quite a few bands. Fear Factory, first two albums, stellar, influences. I still listen to them today. The new stuff, there's no heart in it, especially a new album. I listened to the new album yesterday, or the day before yesterday when I was driving around. Hated it. Thanks Spotify Premium, because now I know I don't have to buy it. You're a British 80s throwback. Pneumatic Brit, a lot of the new wave of British heavy metal that Metallica endorses a lot. You know, I like a lot of those bands. Outlaw Country is great, yes. Penal Corpse is just a cool name for a band. I've never heard their music though. Oaser. Yeah, they're great. They're one of my favorite death metal bands, and I've seen them twice. Yeah, try Hammer Smash Face. There you go. They're on the look. They're in a Ace Ventura first movie, Pet Detective. Yeah, I'm the same way. I like the music from the heart, not from the wallet, and that's the way I am. You know, and then like the new Fear Factory, they were having lineup issues. The singer and the guitar player, the two main songwriters, were not getting along. They couldn't even be in the same room. But they had to make that last album for a contract. To finish a contract. And you could just tell that it was just going through the motions. There's no passion behind it. You know, if I was singing for a band that I knew I wasn't going to be in anymore, would I give it my 100%? No. So, good morning, Eddie. Things are okay for now. Like I said, things have calmed down a little bit, but next week it's going to go right back up. So that's why I'm doing these morning live feeds, because after that I'm going to be distracted with some serious family stuff. So, but we have a lull right now. And then it'll start back up in August. So, Sturgill, Simpson, and Coulter Wall are making awesome music right now. Rick, you know, when it comes to different bands, I like 16 Horsepower, the Dead South. I like them. There's a Dead South song called In Hell I'll Be in Good Company. It's the same melody as Judas Priest. Which song is it? I can't remember the song. It's off one of the newer albums. It's the same exact melody. And maybe as a musician I hear that, but maybe non-musicians wouldn't hear that. But it's a good tritone, E minor, melody. E minor melodies. Iron Maiden made their whole career off of E minor. So I think RD is probably the only one that's even going to get that reference. If he's still even in here, because we're losing people, so maybe someone went live, or everybody's flocking over to Ike's channel for his top 5 bonehead truckers of the week. But other than that, I really don't have any big message or any agenda. Just chat while I'm sitting here out here listening to the birds and the jackhammer and trying to figure out what I'm going to do the rest of the day. New sub here, Nomadic Brit, speaks a lot about your channel. Well, I appreciate that, Nomadic Brit and Nomad Trucker. Welcome. I've seen your name floating around a lot of these videos. What you see is what you get. That's why I only have... How many subscribers I have now? I'd like to break 4,000 soon, but 39, 2. So I could be boring. I don't work on my thumbnails. I think I know what direction my YouTube would have to go if I want to make some views. But that requires a little bit of effort, which I'm not ready to put into yet. Eventually, I would like to do a StreamYard / call-in show, because I get asked a lot of the same questions in live feeds, and I would rather, a lot of them, people are looking for blanket statements, but you have to be more detailed than that. I think I could be of some help. Not sure. I do know that I have positive results when people call me on the phone personally, so there's that. Nomadic Brit, take it easy. Straight shooter. I try to be. I'm not like hey, how's it going? Everything's perfect, and it's not. I don't do that. There was a time where my channel might have made it look easier than it was as far as being an owner-operator. But some of that was because it is a little bit easier for me than somebody else. You need a trucker cat for 1,000. I need a trucker cat or a dog and a female sidekick. That seems to be what gets views. I will show you guys something though. Let me see if I can find something here. I came across a video. How I negotiate load rates with brokers. Do this, okay? This is a little lesson for you smaller YouTubers that want to grow, okay? That's how you title a video, okay? This guy only has he's only got 2,400 subscribers, but this video is over 9,800 views. Okay, there's only a few of my videos that have that kind of high count, and those were Snyder or Landstar videos. Let's take a look at his channel. Look at the way he titles and does thumbnails, right? If you go to Asian My Show, he does the same thing. There's a certain style that's kind of the standard in YouTube right now. Okay? I've never heard of this guy. He's not part of our circle of misfits that we seem to have. And I include myself in that. Now, if you notice, I didn't subscribe to him. Okay? The video he did, how to find load, or, how to book higher rates. It was a good video, but it was stuff that I already knew. And I'm looking at his titles and everything. It's not really anything that I'm interested in, and I know that some of it he's just hitting on the right analytics, and that's what YouTube's about. It's about the analytics. It's about hitting the right numbers. You know, Ike Stevens, he's at over 100,000 subs now. Why is that? Because he's hitting the right analytics with the style of videos he's doing now. And once you find the formula that works, and that's kind of what YouTube is, you take stabs at different formulas. And YouTube is like a business, right? How you tend to it and how you market it is just as important, if not more important, than the content. I can't tell you how many times I've come across a crappy video, but it looks good. It was in my homepage, but it was utter crap. You know, and then you have people that just kind of do it naturally. They hit the right words. One of the things that hurts my channel is I use a lot of pre-recorded music. I don't get copyright strikes because a lot of these bands like the attention. The publishing companies want this music out there, but I don't get monetized for that. So therefore, YouTube doesn't push it as much. YouTube will not. Once you get monetized, you think, oh, it's money, right? No, the advantage of being monetized is that YouTube will push your channel more. If you have a guy that has 900 subscribers that's not monetized, and a guy that has 5,000 subscribers with a lot of views, and they both do the same exact video, let's say a truck wash video, and they're both equal edited, equal everything, the one that has the 5,000 views is going to get the push first because he's already hitting all the analytics, he's already got a following, and he's monetized. That's the key to monetization. But in the last couple of years, especially with the political climate we have now, it's not hard for your individual video, to not be monetized anymore. And like YouTube or like Facebook, they're going back to older stuff to see if there's any negative things. They're kind of cleaning house with that. And so anytime I did the videos that I enjoy doing, like the music videos, that doesn't help my algorithms at all, which is why I stopped doing them for now. Now, if I do it with my own music, that's different. You know, there's no other publisher other than me, so I own the music, so I can do that. And then I've been given a lot of music locally that doesn't have vocals, because I know a lot of my music turns people off because of the vocals, which I get. That doesn't hurt my feelings. But you kind of have to be a metalhead to like it anyways. And I haven't really capitalized on anything. You know, the carnivore thing didn't really take off. I did that for me. I did that for you, but I didn't do it for views. But I thought that it would have at least a better impact than it did, because the other carnivore channels I watch are doing really, really well. Again, it goes to analytics. And a lot of those people have endorsements. A lot of those people are, they have Amazon links that they get paid off of, and things of that nature. And that helps, advertisers love stuff like that. So just putting that out there. So and so the important part is I understand why my channel doesn't take off, and I'm fine with that, because I'm kind of stoked about it. It was like, whatever, I'm just kind of, and it shows. My numbers show that. I didn't have James Best consistently last night had over 130 people in that video for 6 hours. That's impressive. YouTube loves that. So I do not have the gumption to do that. Nomad Trucker, that is actually a that is a method that, that's why female truck drivers do so well. I came across a female driver that she looked good, but video kind of sucked. But she had over 10,000 subs. Um, you don't clickbait out like that, Rick. I've been guilty of that. I'll do a live feed when my truck's in the shop and say I'm truck shopping or I'm getting a new truck or whatever. I'll do little teasers, but yeah, for the most part, you know, and to believe it or not, YouTube hates clickbait, guys. They really do. YouTube money is temporary. I do agree with that because look, if Google was my sole source of income, and seeing what they're doing to people like Steven Crowder, Joe Rogan, Timcast, all the gun channels. If you mention one thing about the VA thing that people want to poke you with, YouTube has that power. Google has the power to cut your complete supply of money off. And it's not until you get to the millions plus subscribers and views, the kind of channels that get 20,000 views within 10 minutes, that you start having a little bit of leverage with Google on the advertisement. But to have my income come from one sole place like that has that kind of power, that would scare the living crap out of me. I would not be making any I would be afraid to rely on that 100%. Health bids might start slow. Well, look, there's a message that I have that a lot of people don't want to hear when it comes to health. And all these other health channels that I watch, they're literally echo chambers, just like a lot of the conservative channels. They're echo chambers. You ain't change anybody's mind with these videos, the majority of them. And people get offended. I had people like to give me crap for for my food choices. Why does it matter what I choose to eat? You didn't have any problem with my food choices when they were bad for me. And my message is that sugar is addictive. Don't believe me? You go 7 days without sugar. See if you can do it. I bet you there's a lot of people in this chat that can't do that. Let's see if we get rid of this glare a little bit. I'm gonna do it this way. So people don't want to hear that. People don't want to admit that there's a problem out there. So it's something that people don't want to hear, so they don't click, they don't tune, they don't stay. And I watch the YouTube analytics, see how long people stay, and my live feeds help my numbers a little bit. But my recorded videos, they don't do very well. And I'm fine with that. I make a little bit of extra, I don't know, gas money, with YouTube. And then I have generous people like Charles or Thomas Wilson that give me a lot of super chats, and I appreciate that. So, and people ask me if I'm going to do the membership thing, and I thought, well, I don't have anything to offer. I really don't. I mean, like, in some membership channels, like there's a prepper guy that I used to watch that moved to Patreon. I have no problem with people making money, right? But when you lose focus of what your channel really started about, to me, it hurts. And just like a musician, if you forget who your fans are, if you forget who your subscribers are, you lose touch with them. If you lose touch with your fans, with your subscribers, crap goes downhill pretty quickly. And I have an eye for that. I have an ear for that. And so this guy went from having really good content to putting everything on Patreon. Every now and then he would bless us, bless the subscribers with one of his free videos, and all they were was clickbait and to sell his shirts and his flashlight endorsement that he had. But if you want the real information, the information that can save your life, you got to pay for it. Which, look, I don't have a problem with people selling information if they have good information. But take a look at like record labels. Okay, take a look at record labels. Record labels put out free, or used to, now they just put them online, free CD samplers. If you went to the Milwaukee Metal Fest, you literally went home with like about 30 free CDs from bands trying to get their name out there. And that would have been what people buy your music from. Napster, you guys remember Napster? I downloaded a ton of free music off of Napster, but if I liked the band really good, I actually went and bought their product. What I would do is I would take Apnea stuff and I would put it on Napster, just 3 or 4 songs, and I would go into these death metal room chats and say, hey, what do you think of our music? Oh, I like this. Do you want to order it? And I would actually get CDs all across the world because of that. So to give a little bit, and if people genuinely like your product, they're going to pay for it. But if you force them to it's either all or none, that's a problem. At least in my eyes. That's my perception. Now, it could be something different. Again, I'm not the smartest business person, but I try to give a viewpoint from a consumer standpoint. Like record store day is huge, right? Because you get a lot of freebies or you get a lot of special stuff. And you treat your customers right, they'll always come back for more. And so starting a membership thing on my YouTube, I don't really have anything extra to offer. Now, if I got to the point where I was taking 20 phone calls a day trying to help people, then yeah, we would have to do something, because time is money. And I get that aspect. But at the same time, I don't see myself, there's nothing that I do that's worth money. Does that make sense? Now, people have said you need to start selling shirts and hats, which people love merch. But you're either finding someone local to do shirts and you're spending money out the yin-yang to ship them. And that's hard to run a trucking business and do that at the same time if you're driving. Or you're having to go through a company like Teespring or someplace like that where it's drop ship and you don't handle it at all, but the shirts are more expensive and they're lower quality. And I don't feel like I need to do that. Hats might be a different story, but you would have to make a hat $30 to make it. I can't charge $30 for a hat, not with my stupid name on it. I wouldn't do that, because I wouldn't buy my own hat at $30. And and by the way, this was free. George and Wendy gave me this hat, tough tested. You guys also know about free stuff at the truck shows. If you go to the truck shows, it's the same thing. So Shadow Wolf, good morning. You're not a metalhead. My head is empty, so I am a. I don't know why. I don't know. It's too early. Are we off till Tuesday? I'm off until the end of July. There, TJ. I'm dealing with some major family stuff. You need to start drinking and get a sworn. Viking coach. Little Viking coach. I like his channel approach, even though, but he's slacked off here lately. Who really wants to be mainstream anyway, says Rudy. Rudy Yard. Keep it old school. Subculture used to be where creativity was. My body, my food, my choice, lol. YouTube is deep and doo-doo with lawsuits, and rightfully so. There's a lot of things that shouldn't be banned that are, that should be banned that aren't, and there are a lot of things that shouldn't be banned but are. At the end of the day, the Google gods will decide your fate. RN, honestly, I support you on the membership. You know, and look, I know that, and I appreciate that, RN, and I know that people would, but until I have something to offer, I feel like I would be taking advantage of them. You know? And I don't want to get complacent. I don't want to be like, well, I'm sure Jeff would appreciate if I didn't sit an extra week because I know I'm getting YouTube money in, you know? So... Clyde, stevia still has the same impact of spiking your insulin. It's actually just as hazardous as sugar. I'm sorry to give you that bad news. And yeah, so ginger belly, I've never heard of that. FYI, anybody heading to the PNW, heat wave has subsided. Good deal. Go do some cop watching in your town. Do real live PD. That'd be easy to do around here. Even on my street. All it takes is to make it on YouTube is 100,000 subs and and do drama. Don't forget to have butts and boobs too. Show off. Look, there are so many different trucking circles that don't have a lot of that back and forth stuff. I think we just see a lot of it because of the group that we're in. And hell, I've been involved in some of it too. I've had my taste of it, but even if you don't have drama between other YouTubers, you're going to have drama with people that follow you. I keep getting negative comments on one of my old cooking videos. And the arguments are always about whether I wash the chicken or not. And then cooking in foil. A lot of people hate that. And so, social media is a wicked beast. Whether it's Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. And people get sued. People get hurt. Look at what happened to Pale Rider. He doesn't do anything to anybody. But yet, somebody in the drama circle, I'll say it, somebody in the drama circle decided that he was worth messing with the cops. So that's how dangerous this YouTube stuff is. You have to have thick skin, for sure. You remember when you paid $16 for an album that only had 2 good songs? Rick, those days are done. I don't do that anymore. That's for sure. Spotify Premium is the way to go. I'm now a fan of the Garage Band Diluted. There you go, TJ. My wife does drop ship and all done by her. I could sell the wash your ass hat for $30, but they stopped making the hat. But man, it's a pain in the butt to get it all together and do it. It is, Shadow Wolf. You know, clothing. Look, I have experience with this with the band. Selling band shirts was not the easiest thing. Getting them printed was the easiest part. You know, I had an inside guy, the same guy that made Shadow Wolf shirt, made all the Apnea shirts. And you know, and people love merch because you buy an album once, but you can buy every, like Iron Maiden, I'm only going to buy their album once, but I'm going to buy every shirt that I can, you know. So merch sales are very important for any genre, whether it's music related or not. Even these big money podcasts, they have stickers, they have shirts, they have you know, hats. You know, Order a Man, he has hats, he has books. You know, YouTube is a platform to sell, and that's what it's for the most part. Selling and how-tos is what it's all about. I'll be your arch enemy to build your channel. Little like goes. A few people have never been punched in the mouth. Joseph Riddle. Asian My Show, what's up? Hope you're doing great. How come your name's highlighted? That's weird. How'd you do that? Asian My Show, I am doing good. I finished my 40-day carnivore challenge and I feel stellar. And you know, and we're still trying to figure out the direction of the channel because I don't know. I got to get over this family thing, and then maybe I can concentrate more on the channel. But then I'll be playing catch up with the business. I know 2 truckers that have over 187,000 subs. Really no content. I can't figure out. They really can't edit either. I guess the YouTube God is good to them. In fact, Shadow Wolf, it goes to what I was saying earlier about the analytics, getting the right analytic. I was watching one of the How to Do YouTube Better channels, and they talked about this Mexican gal. She's this old lady who does these recipes, and her videos go viral because she's hitting all the right analytics with everything. So sometimes it's just sheer luck as well, because there's probably millions of cooking videos, but there's something about, you know, and then you got the whole purchase views or purchase subs thing that can happen, and I've never really explored that. Yeah, YouTubers make more on merch than ad revenue. Well, I don't know, it depends. I mean, I know people that are making about $1,000 a month off of YouTube. I'm not sure what the cut is if you go with Teespring, because once you get above 10,000, I think, is it 10,000 subscribers, you can have a Teespring link right there where your channel is. Asian Mai is doing great, making tons of money. He is. He's doing great. Gene Simmons and Kiss are masters of merchant marketing. Way too many kinds of products. I was in a local band called Backhoe Butchery. I was the drummer for that band, believe it or not, up until their last album. And we had merch for everything. And it worked well. It was more like novelty crap, but it did all right. I mean, it paid for gas money to the gigs, you know, pretty much. But, you know, Asian Mai, he's another smart one that knows how to use analytics. And his channel can go in 10 different directions, but the theme is all the same. So that's kind of what I would like to try to do. But in order to do that, you kind of have to have a following at first. You know, that there are a lot of non-truck drivers that subscribe to our content. I acquired several carnivore people that aren't truck drivers with my carnivore videos. Alex, can you make Snorelord an honorary Asian? Asians are real loud. Be like that one YouTuber that got surgery. He's from England, but he identifies as Korean. which is crazy. You know. But anyways, I think we're at our max here. So, guys, thanks for watching. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do the rest of the day. I got a few things I probably should be doing, but it's been raining, so the grass is wet. So that's out. Maybe until this afternoon. I got a few things to do at the other house. Who knows? So, anyways, guys, thanks for the super chats. Thanks for watching. Don't let toxicity of social media get you down. Because if it does, there's an easy solution. Just turn it off. Marching. All right, Daniel. You come through Springfield, man, I'll buy lunch or dinner, whatever it is. So, anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Peace.